Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. It's part 3 of my playthrough of Warfighter from DVG in the Pacific. If you remember, our squad of Marines were given a mission of a short patrol, but found out they had to clear some caves. And in the last video, we see them starting to get a bit bogged down with this brick building that keeps spewing out Japanese hostiles. And as you can see, the timer is ticking down and there are not many turns left to try and get these caves cleared. At the moment, we've got this light machine gun team targeting number 4, Wiseman. So we need to take care of that as soon as possible. So before we do that, let's have a quick reminder of the squad. Here's our player soldier Neelan, a couple of experience points. I think last time I may have forgotten to use his gung ho, so we've got to remember to try and use that. I told you I'd forget about it. He also has a hardy hot counter, but the only locations we're encountering are those with fever. Talgon is our corpsman, and he's already used one of his bandages on Neelan, who got wounded in the last video. And Williams, our sniper, who's hiding in the moist jungle, is doing a sterling job picking off hostiles that are pouring out this brick building. And having the camouflage equipped has already been worth it. And then there's Wiseman. And Wiseman only has one action this turn, because if you remember, the light machine gun team fired over his head. He had to dive for cover and got suppressed, so he's used one of his actions to remove that suppression marker. Okay, let's get going with the soldier turn. So, the first thing we have to do is the environment roll for anybody that's in a location that requires that. This is something I always forget to do. Let's just move that a minute. The only soldier that it applies to is Williams, who's in the moist jungle, and it has a fever of 3+. He has to throw 3 or more, otherwise he succumbs to the jungle fever. Here we go. Yeah, fine, 10. Okay. Next, actions. So I think Talgon is going to fire into the brick building location and see if he can deal with the 2 hostiles of the light machine gun team. So let's have a look. Here's his scoped rifle. He's 1 away, so he needs to throw an 8. Has a penetration of 1. And these are in the brick building, which gives them a +1 cover, but the penetration of the rifle knocks it back down to 2. But he also has the rifleman's skill, which will add 1 to his attack roll, or 2 if he upguns it. Now, do we upgun that? I think we will, because these hostiles, as you can see, if they throw high, they will cause 2 wounds and they will throw again. So we need to get them down at least 1. So I think we will upgun it. Wiseman has a couple. We'll use one of his. So that now goes back. So we can add +2 to our attack roll. We throw 1 die. We need an 8 or more to hit and a 2 or more on the D6 cover die to get through their cover. We mustn't throw a 2 on the attack die, otherwise he's out of bullets. Look at that. 4 gets through the cover, and 10, of course, hits. That's 1 kill. I keep doing that, upgunning the skill, and then throw a 10 on the attack die. Never mind. 1 down, 1 to go. Now we could use his second action to fire again, but he has a bolt action rifle, and that means discarding a card. We've got some good cards here, remember, but I don't think we'll use one for Williams, let's remind ourselves what we've got. We've got steady aim, attack, combined fire, that's a good one, snapshot, right. I think what we'll do for now though is save Williams' second shot and see if somebody else can take care of that remaining hostile on the card there. And let's use Williams. He's got one action left. And if you remember, at range 0 only needs a 4 to hit, but he will need a 3 to get through the cover because, as I say, it's a +1 for everything in that location. Also, he has a vested interest in trying to get rid of that hostile because it's targeting him. So here we go. We need 4 on the attack die and a 3 or more on the cover die. 6 gets through the cover, but not enough on the attack die, so that second hostile on there is only suppressed. Oh dear. Talgorn better have a go. That's our corpsman. He's got the M1 carbine, so at range 0 he needs a 6. Can only do the semi roll with 1 die, but he mustn't throw a 1 because he'll be out of ammo. There's no penetration on the M1 carbine, so he needs a 3 to get through the cover and a 6 to hit. Oh, that looks good. 4 gets through the cover. 9 is a hit. We're off again. We've got rid of that light machine gun team. And Talgorn gets a couple of experience points. That's good news. Thing is, though, we don't have any location to get through. I don't want to discard any cards because these are quite good. So what I think we'll do is we'll use the old binoculars. Neelan, our player soldier, will use an action. And we need a 3 or more to grab the top card of the location deck. So an action is used. Oh, they are 10. So we can take the top card of the location deck, and it is, oh no, steep rise. Look at that, 5 to get in. No reinforcements though, and only 2 hostiles will appear, or value of 2 will appear. But it looks 2 actions to play. We can't play it this time. There's a hot one, +4. Nature, obstructed and elevated. No vehicles. Well, we haven't got any. But time is getting on. We may have to use that next turn. Let's pop that there. And it says here, elevated. Attackers in an elevated location ignore the obstructed limitation on location cards. So if you're in that elevated location, you can fire through an obstructed location card into the next one because you're higher up, you're above it. I think that's what it means. Right, oh dear. Now we could use Neelan's last action to discard a couple of action cards we've got that we don't really need to see if we get a better location card. There's not much else we can do. We can't play that steep rise. Let's just move that out of the way for a moment. We can't play this one because, as you've just seen, it's 2 actions. Although if we can get in there, nothing will come after us. We've got a couple of these. But the problem is we have to discard both of those to get 1 action card because we've got more than 6. So I think we're going to have to leave it there and just hope that nothing comes out of that blooming brick building again. So that's the soldier turn done with. It is now the hostiles' turn, and the first thing they do is reinforce. And this brick building has a reinforce value of 1s and 2s. Let's hope we're lucky. We get 3. Nice. We can ignore that one. Thank goodness. Look at that light mortar team. Nice one. They can't attack. Nothing to attack. Nothing to close range. Nothing there. So we just advance the mission timer. There we go, and we better get a move on. So let's get those action counters turned back over and see if we can do something about moving into that next location. There we are, and we're ready for the next turn. So here we go. I think we're going to have to take a chance with this location card, only because it's none. And it's only 2 hostile values coming in, but it is 2 actions to play. So we'll probably do that. But the first thing, again, nearly forgot, is the environment roll. And old Williams there in the moist jungle has to see if he succumbs to the fever. So he has to throw a 3+. We're okay, 7. Yes, and this one is a hot 4+. Nealon does have his hardy hot token there, which he can cash in if he fails 1 roll. But I think we will. I think we'll play that. Nealon uses his 2 actions, and we draw a value of 2 hostiles for that location. Let's see what we get. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's 2 ambushers. Oh no. Place in targeted. Pay 2 XP or inflict 1 suppression on each soldier in this location. Hold on. I think we'll pay 2 XP. Talgon's got 4, so we'll get rid of 2. That's sorted. Now it says place in targeted. So I assume that means it will go into the location of the targeted soldier. So we have our little bag. Those ambushers are targeting number 2. So they've crept out from behind the brick building to try and ambush Talgon. And there's 3 of them on that card. Nope, don't like the sound of that. But we do get an opportunity to attack. And look, they've got a cover of 3, which goes up to 4. That's no good. That might have been worth a grenade, but Nealon is out of actions. Let's see if Williams, our sniper, can sort them out. We'll use an action. So this would go up to 4 because of the brick building, but it goes back down to 3 because of the penetration. So it's still a big ask of Williams. He needs to throw an 8. He does have the rifleman skill, so that will add 1. I don't think we'll upgun it this time. We're running out of experience points, so we'll see how he does. He mustn't throw a 2 or a 1, otherwise he's out of ammo. So what did we say? We need a cover roll of 3 or more and an attack roll of 8 or more. Ah, no. Gets a 4. Whoops. So I'm afraid that doesn't get through, even with his +1 of his rifleman's skill, but the cover does. So at least one of those ambushers are suppressed. I think we will cash in one of those cards, or discard it, so he can use his bolt rifle again. What do we got? I think we'll use this all soldiers add 1 to their ranged attack rolls this soldier turn. So that might be handy because Williams will now add 2 to that attack roll. 1 from his rifleman's skill and 1 from that card. I've got to remember. In fact, I'll leave it out. You know what I'm like. I'll forget. Let's pop it there for a sec. So let's see. We need a 3 on the cover and an 8 on the attack. Come on, Williams. Oh, I think he's only just gone and done it. 3 gets through the cover. 10 plus his 2 again is a kill. He's out of actions. I think we'll use... Oh. That's only for the player soldier, that one. Doesn't say any soldier on it. And the same with that, I think. Yeah, that's just for player soldiers. But we could use that. Upgun it for Wiseman, who only needs a 4 to hit, but a 4 to get through the cover. So we'll upgun that. We'll use his last experience point. So he's going to add 1 to his attack roll and not spend an action. So we need a 4 for the cover and 4. Well, we only need a 3 with this. Let's see what we get. Oh, look at that. 6 gets through the cover. He gets a +1. He doesn't need it. That brings it up to 10. That is gone. We now need only Wiseman to take care of this suppressed ambusher on the floor. This man is amazing. 5 on the cover, 4 on the hit, plus the 1, 5. He's sorted them out for us as well. Well done, Wiseman. Just get this out the way. He gets 2 more experience points. Pop those on his card. That I don't think we need anymore because there are no more hostiles. Oops. That in there. I think that's there. That in there. We need to start moving these in if we can. Well, the only soldiers that can move now is Wiseman and Talgorn, and they've both got a movement of 1. We can't move them in. They haven't got enough cards. So we've got to stay here for another turn and hope we don't get too much in the way of reinforcements. There's not a lot we can do with the soldiers now. That's it. We're starting to get clogged up a bit, but it is now the hostiles' turn and reinforcements. 1 or 2 may well appear. Let's have a look. 0. It's a lone soldier. Yes, hold the press. Ruff's done it again. This reinforces on a 1 or a 2, not a 0. So we got away with it. That does mean, though, that for the hostiles' turn, nothing else happens. And we move the mission counter along. 4 turns left. So let's get those action counters turned over and get on with the next turn. There we go, and now we've got to try and get some of our soldiers into this next location. So it's the soldier turn, so we'll just move that out because the first thing we've got to do is check to see if Williams survives his environment check for fever. 3 or more. There we go, 9. So actions. We need to move up. So I think what we'll do is we'll move Nilon up into the steep rise. That will cost 5. He has a movement of 2. We'll have to use all of these cards for the other 3 movement points. So we'll discard those. But he can move in, use an action. And for his second action, we're going to do a discard and draw. We don't have anything to discard, so we're just going to draw 6 new action cards. We're going to get rid of a load of these because we've got to move these guys in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we are. As I say, most of these are going to be discarded, but I don't know. That might be handy. Pay 1 XP to play this card. And if we upgun it, any soldier will get 3 added to their movement points and not spend an action. So we'll keep that one. And these will pop over here. Might be worthwhile moving up Williams. He has a movement of 2. I'm going to use this Unstoppable. So we'll pay 2 XP, 1 for the card, 1 to upgun it. Wiseman has a couple spare, so we use those. And he can move in. I think we'll also move in Wiseman. He has a movement of 1. We've got 5 cards. I don't think it matters too much. Yeah, especially ones with support, because if you remember, the mission card says we have to pay 1 extra for support and retain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop that there. Wiseman will use an action and move in. It is now the hostiles' turn. So it's reinforce on a 1 or a 2. 0, nothing. Okay, good. We now move the timer down. Good grief. Quickly turn over the action counters. Only a couple of them. Now, time is not on our side. It might be prudent to activate this. I know it will spawn 4 points worth of hostiles, but they have been placed all over the show, so they might not end up here. But I think, yes, I think we do need to start doing that. So let's activate it. Stop the press. Ruff's done it again. I've forgotten to roll for the environment for the steep rise, which has a hot 4+ on it. And Nilon and Wiseman have got to throw 4 or more. Mind you, Nilon does have a hardy hot counter that he can cash in if he doesn't make it. But let's hope they do, so I don't have to re-record everything from this point. Here we go. Nilon, 4 or more. Yep, he's fine. And Wiseman. Just makes it. Thank goodness for that. As you were. We now need to draw 4 points worth of hostiles. Wish us luck. We've got a 2. Flankers. Place in rearmost. They're going to go here. Soldiers cannot leave this location. Oh dear. Well, that's 2. 3, would you believe it? Riflemen. They're going to stay there, but it's an event. Let's get that. Easy going. Oh, permanently reduce the entrance cost of this location by 2. So that goes down to 1. That'll be helpful. But that's still not enough. We need another point's worth. And we get, oh, brilliant, an ossifer. And he's going to be screened by those blooming riflemen. Let's sort this out. We've got, well, I've got my little handy dandy die here. We can pop that on there to remind us that can go. And now we've got to see, this is going to go here. We've got to see who they are targeting. The flankers are after number 4, which is Wiseman. The rifleman, oh, he's after Talgorn. Let's move that over there, that over there. And the officer is after Wiseman. Well, they've got it in for Wiseman. His exploits have preceded him. So that's screened. Now, fearless and inspire. So I think the fearless means he can't be suppressed, and inspired means he can remove suppression counters off of other hostiles, I think. Let me just check. Yep, inspire. Remove 1 suppress counter from each hostile card in play at the start of the hostile attack step. Brilliant. And fearless, yeah, a hostile card with the fearless keyword is not affected by suppress results. We've got to take him out. It's quite thematic. We've got an officer and rifleman in the cave entrance, picking off Marines as they come into range. So we've got to get in there and sort them out. But we've got these blooming flankers that we've got to take care of. And we can't leave this location unless that moves or is eliminated. So, bearing in mind we've got to eliminate all of these, even though that isn't on the objective, we've got to eliminate it because it was one of those pulled when we activated the objective. So what I do is just pop, I know these aren't going to move, but sometimes they do. Pop those on there, and this one. So we know these are the 3 we must eliminate, because we might get some reinforcements on this one, which don't count towards the objective. Right, we better move in some peeps to sort out the cave entrance. So, Neilon is using an action. That has now been reduced to 1. He's got a movement of 2 anyway. So, he is moving in, and for his second action, he's going to lob a grenade at those riflemen. And just to remind you, here's the grenade card. We're going to hit on a 7. We can roll 4 dice, and we do get penetration of 1. So that is going to be nullified. We don't need to throw a cover die. Let's see if we can take some of these out. So just remember, this is isolated. We've got to get in there, because we can't fire into that location, but on the other hand, they can't fire out of it. And we've got our on-site person there. We have to have at least 1 person on that location card. Right, let's see what happens with these riflemen. We need 7 or more, and there are 3 of them. Oh, we've got 2. And a suppress, mind you, that's going to come off. So we've got 1, 2, and a suppress. Neilon is out of actions. We need our man Wiseman. He's going to use an action to see if he can get rid of these before this can take the suppression off. He also reinforces 0-2s as well. My goodness, we've got to get rid of him. Okay, Wiseman needs a 1 for the cover. Yes, I've done it again. It must be something to do with the weather. After explaining that this location is isolated, which means we can't fire into it, I was about to fire into it with Wiseman. So what I've had to do is rewind the video, go back to where he was about to attack, and start again. So apologies. Hope it doesn't distract from the enjoyment. At least I picked up on it. So Wiseman has got to move in. He's got a movement of 1, and it only takes 1 to get into that now. And his second action, because this unit here, these riflemen, are either killed or suppressed, it's not screening the officer anymore. So Wiseman, for his second action, might as well have a go at the officer, because he's going to reinforce if we don't deal with him. And he's going to take suppressions off the other hostiles. The problem is, of course, you can see, hopefully, he's got a cover of 4. Wiseman only needs to roll a 4 on the attack die, but a 4 on the cover as well is a tall order. But it's Wiseman. Let's see if he can do it. So all the 4s or better. Oh, he only goes and does it. Look, 4 on the cover, 7 on the attack die. He's just shot the officer and eliminated him. The man is a legend. And he also gets 3 experience points. There we are. One hostile down, 2 to go. But that's Wiseman out of actions as well. We're in the brick building here. And these flankers are going to get a +1 to their cover. I think Talgorn will have a go. He's got the M1 carbine. So at range 0, it's 6 to hit. He only rolls 1 die. No penetration. Mustn't throw a 1, otherwise he's out of ammo. So we need a 2 for the cover and a 6 on the attack die. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, take that, says Talgorn. 5 gets through the cover, 10 of course. Scores a hit. He's trying again for his second action. Here we go. Oh no, gets through the cover, but does not get a kill. He gets a suppression. That's his turnover. It is now Williams. Unfortunately, Williams has that scoped rifle, which will need a 9 to hit. Does have penetration though, so this goes back down to 1. He's got the rifleman's skill, which we're going to upgun. So we're going to use an experience point from Wiseman. So we need a 1 on the cover, so we don't need to throw that die, and a 7 or more because of the +2 from the rifleman upgunned to score a kill. Here we go. What? 2? What's the matter with you, Williams? That's a miss. We're going to fire again, but we've got to discard a card. Look, we've got 1 left. Let's see if we can do it this time. Let's upgun it again. So we can add +2 to the roll. 7 or more then. 1? Getting worse. Williams, what's the matter with you? That's a miss. That's all we can do. That's the end of the soldier's turn. Everybody's out of actions. It is now the hostile turn, and the first thing we do is reinforce. And the only one that's reinforcing is the brick building, the bane of our mission, on a 1 or a 2. 3. No, thank goodness for that. Few, they say. So they can't attack. This doesn't need a close range because it's... Oh, it needs to close range. It's coming out. The riflemen are coming out, but they can't because they're all suppressed or killed. They would do if they weren't. These can't move either. thereafter Wiseman. So we just remove the suppressions from each. And that's the end of their turn. We have to advance the mission timer. Look, 2 turns left. I'm going to refresh the actions. And I think the first thing we're going to do again is throw a grenade at those riflemen to see if we can finish them off. Might as well. We've got a couple left. So, for Nealon's first action. Did I forget to use my gung-ho again? I probably did, didn't I? So don't moan at me. I've realised. Throw a grenade. 4 dice. We don't need to throw the cover die because it's only 1. 7 or more. Yep, we've got 2 here. 8 and a 10 and a 9. They're gone. And Nealon gets an experience point. There we go. Can't do anything else. It's all up to these guys. So, Talgorn will have a go. He needs, if you remember, to throw a 6. And we need a 2 for the cover because of that brick building. Come on, Talgorn. He's got through the cover, but he's missed on the attack dice. So, once again, we've got a suppression. Second action. Come on, Talgorn. Oh no, that's even worse. That's a miss. Gets through the cover, but the attack die misses. So that's his lot. It's down to Williams. He needs a 9 to hit. He gets a penetration of 1, so he doesn't need to throw the cover die. But we're going to upgun the rifleman. Skill. Thank you. Wiseman. So what do we need? We need a 9, but we've got a +2, so we need a 7 or better to take out that last flanker. Do this, Williams, and we can all go home safe and sound. So he takes position down on the ground and gets his target in sight. The problem is, of course, the last of the flankers is hiding inside the brick building. But William can see just a glimpse of him through the opening of the window, so he takes aim. He breathes in, holds it momentarily, lets it out slowly, and squeezes the trigger. Oh! 9! And the last flanker. Grow up, Ruff. Hits the deck. And the squad have completed their mission and objective. We've done it. Everybody's safe. We can all go home and get back to base and have a few beers and tell our story. So there we are. That was a short patrol and cave clearing. Wasn't too bad. Got a bit bogged down in the old brick building there. But the chaps of the day have got to be Williams and Wiseman. What a great couple of Marines they were. So this has been DVG Warfighter, the Pacific version, and I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I tell you what, as I said earlier on, I've forgotten how much fun this game is. Very narrative. The story just tells itself. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you haven't done so already, it would be great if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Pushing the like button of the video, the thumbs up, helps tremendously as well. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. By all means, leave a comment. This has been a nightmare to video. For some reason, the stakes have been coming out of the woodwork. Hopefully I've caught most of them. As I said earlier, I hope it didn't distract from your enjoyment of the video. And if I've missed any, just let us know in the comments. Gently, mind, because that'll help me and everybody else. Or just leave a comment saying how much you enjoyed it. That would be nice too. But whatever you put, I love to read them. Thanks as always to my lovely subscribers. Thank you so much. And just before I go, one last thing. If you wish to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can buy the channel a coffee. And those coffees go towards helping to maintain the channel and enabling it to upload new content. If you wish to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description, and thank you. So for now, we leave a jungle somewhere in the Pacific, and I'll get on to video something different, and I hope you can join me for that. But until then, as always, you take care and goodbye.